Welcome to Town Talk, the official podcast of Summerville, South Carolina, where we bring you the latest news and incredible guests right here at home in the town of Summerville. And today, we got Mayor Touchberry back with us. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Chris. Great to be here again.
Yes, so this is our 50th episode of Town Talk.
Wow.
50, I was doing the math. I mean, most of my conversations are like, I don't know, 30 to an hour. And I'm thinking that's close to 40 to 50 hours of conversations I've had.
That's impressive.
Since I started.
Yeah.
And I'm very it's nice. And that's 40 to 50 hours of conversation that our community has to listen in on. Right. I think there's something really powerful. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm very grateful of Town Talk. I'm grateful for you and our town administrator Scott and leadership for supporting this initiative.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's done incredible things for our community and also for the town.
I agree. I think it's a great outlet and great way for us to connect with our community members and to share things that people may not know. It's kind of educational. You know,
Absolutely.
I learned things from some of your folks who visit with you.
Yeah, I mean, we've had, this is only the start. We have so many more in the line, but we've had business owners, just community members. We've had obviously elected officials and other people within the town that it's just been such a great conversation. Business owner Biscuit Belly was on here.
Right.
You know, that was pretty cool.
That may be one of your favorites, right?
Yeah, it was. But actually, we have Dutch Bros in line, a little sneak peek. Ooh. We have the Dutch Bros is opening up here. And I have them in line to come on the podcast as well. Great. So that's going to be really cool.
Very much so.
But no, for the 50th episode, we've had a few conversations. This is your, third, fourth time on here now at this point?
I think so.
I wanted to go in. We've had some hot topic conversations and topics that come up lately.
Yes.
And I want to jump into some of that stuff. I want to have some really good, deep conversations about this in a more informal manner, not in the council chambers or cruising with the mayor, which is informal, but I mean, it's still... You know, it's shorter. This is a little bit more long form.
Absolutely.
So, if you bear with me, I think we're going to have a great conversation.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
All right. So, Mr. Mayor, as a Summerville native and a civil engineer, you have been leading our town since January 2024. What cherished memories from, growing up in this area inspires your vision for the future of Summerville?
Oh, man, that's a great question, Chris.
I told you they're good questions, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we're starting off good. You know, a memory that I have shared recently with several folks comes from growing up on Dove Lane, which is a cul-de-sac off of Gahagan Road. It was paved on the Miles Jamison side, but Gahagan Road was still a dirt road when I was growing up coming into town. And there was a wooden bridge that we would cross over the Sawmill Branch, and we would get to ride in the back of my dad's truck. I don't know why this memory is coming to me, and I've shared it several times, but, you know, when people say, oh my gosh, things have changed. Things really have changed. And change is not always bad. We talk about this all the time, but if we have the opportunity to kind of shape the change into something that's better for our future, that gets me excited. So that cherished memory kind of connects to how I look at how we grow and how we change as a town. We want to make sure that it's beneficial for as many residents as possible, and it enhances our quality of life and creates opportunities for our citizens. So that memory of riding in the back of the truck is a cherished memory that kind of shapes the way I think of Summerville and the business that we do as mayor and council. When we're working together to make decisions, we're thinking about making sure that we make the right decisions for a better future for our citizens and our business community.
I love that. I love that. And I appreciate it's really cool to hear kind of your vision and like the memories that you have had, how it really kind of leads up to how you lead the town. Right. It's really unique how that all kind of lines up just as a human thing, right?
Yeah.
You talk about the growth in the future and, you know, and building a better Summerville for all. But with that is tradition in collaboration. There's looking at the history in the past, you've had times where there's great collaboration, times where there's little to no collaboration, especially with local partnering agencies and local governments, right? How are you fostering partnerships to keep our town thriving, and what exciting joint efforts are underway at this moment?
Oh, that's a lot right there. No doubt, Chris, collaboration with our neighbors or our partners is so vitally important. The town of Summerville is in 3 counties, and being in 3 counties, we have to have a relationship with those county council members. We need to understand what they're doing and make sure that we're coordinating our efforts with them. People would say that if we were going to do Summerville over again, we probably wouldn't do it the same way, right? Well, it takes collaboration to make sure we shape Summerville the best way, because it is essentially in multiple jurisdictions, multiple areas, and if we don't collaborate,
confusing a little bit.
Yeah, it could be confusing. But if we don't collaborate and work with folks, we could look very disjointed as a community as a whole. So, one of the things that I'm really excited about, you talked about initiatives of collaboration, is the vision planning process that we are currently doing right now, working with the Chamber of Commerce, Dorchester County. We're getting input from the Metro Chamber as well as other community stakeholders. We're pulling folks together to work on what vision we have for the future of the town. That kind of collaboration is great, so that our policies and our decision making lines up with this community vision. It's based on community feedback, public input, and a steering committee of diverse folks from this area, business owners, leaders. And I'm really excited about that as an initiative. Be on the lookout for opportunities to give feedback. Those are going to be coming. There's already been feedback that people have given. So the vision planning process is huge. Also, I've had the opportunity, I know you highlighted that, in the Metropolitan Planning Organization, CHATS, Charleston Area Transportation Study, that CHATS organization, which is from everybody within the region, participates in this committee. I'm currently serving as vice chair, and this makes decisions on federal funds and projects that are coming. One project that's underway that is under the Council of Governments and under CHATS is a North Main Street corridor congestion study that is happening right now. They're just kicking it off. We're so happy that we got some funding identified for that. If you travel on North Main Street, this will be from 78 all the way across the interstate to Cypress Gardens Road. And it's very important for us to work with Berkeley County and SCDOT on this study, and we're doing that right now. One of the outcomes from my perspective is going to be identifying how to get Berlin-Myers on the north end to connect the I-26, because that's like 35,000 cars a day hit North Main Street right there before you get to the interstate, and that it's crippling. So this study is important so that we can come up with solutions, get funding identified, and hopefully we have a project that will provide relief through that corridor, as well as just optimizing and coordinating more of the signal system. All of those are going to be potential outcomes through that study. Of course, we have a project a little bit closer on Main Street that we're collaborating with multiple partners on, and that's the Main Street Resiliency Project.
Yes.
That is extremely exciting.
It is. It really
it's basically going to extend our downtown beautiful footprint, what you see in Hutchinson Square, for 5 blocks north of the railroad tracks, all the way to 78, and put the utilities underground, create a more walkable space, make it beautiful with landscaping and street lighting so that folks feel safe walking through town and enjoying the businesses. So we have a lot of projects that we're working on with a lot of partners, And, that project, we have some funding from the state. We're working with the county on it because, they have their transportation sales tax project. So we're working with multiple partners on these efforts in hopes that we deliver the best for our community.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a lot of exciting things happening, and when it comes to just future outlook, right? And yes. I think we talked about the vision plan. You brought that up. But that is also a really exciting thing that's happening right now here in the town of Summerville. That I still personally feel that a lot of people don't get yet. They don't understand the importance of that vision plan,
right? Because
that vision plan is going to guide our future, and so the feedback from y'all is so crucial. That we want everyone's opinions and thoughts heard about the future of Summerville. If we don't hear them, we won't know.
Right.
And so I'm really excited about the vision plan and where that's at. And when's that completion looking like right now?
I think later this fall it'll be finalized. Okay, soon. I think it'll be late fall. We'll get
that's
finalized, exciting. And then it's going to come with basically an action plan.
Oh, that's awesome.
To me, this is a community mandate for their elected officials, for the decision makers. The community is telling us this vision is what they want. And now it's our job, once that is complete, to put the action steps behind it from a policy standpoint, a decision-making standpoint, and a funding standpoint.
Yeah. And it's really exciting. I didn't know it was that soon. That's really exciting. I think a lot of people are going to be really happy about the vision plan. I think a lot of people, I know we're here at the town going to use that,
Absolutely.
to really guide us.
Yes.
And the decisions we make. And I think that's really, really, really powerful and exciting. You talked a lot about traffic, and that is one of the key number one things everyone says is the traffic. And I think what you just brought up is a really great update that I think a lot of people are going to be excited to hear about. But what are some other things that we are trying to do to keep our roads or get our roads flowing more smoothly and basically enhance our visitors and residents' experience when traveling to our stores or going to the grocery store or anything like that? What are some other things outside that we're looking at doing?
Chris, it's tough.
It is.
On any given day, you don't know how long it's going to take you to get across town.
No, it's not just
the entire region.
Yeah.
And we have to think differently. To start a road project from concept to completion, 10 years is a fast timeline for that. And we are already, 10 years.
Wow.
From concept to completion is 10 years. You think Berlin Myers took...
you got to play it.
It was on the 2004 referendum, and it just finished this year. It takes time to get a project from concept to completion, so we have to think differently. That doesn't mean we need to abandon projects. Dorchester County has a transportation sales tax. Charleston County has a transportation sales tax. Berkeley County has a transportation sales tax. So we need to help influence those programs, help them be successful, and make sure that our priorities are getting prioritized in those programs. We're working closely to make sure that those happen. Some of the projects that are in Dorchester County's transportation penny are really going to help us. Dorchester Road, Central Avenue from Parsons to Old Orangeburg Road. These are some very key projects. Miles Jamison Road. Yep. These are projects that are going to provide some great relief for our area. But we also... something that we did over a long period of time is we became comfortable living here but working somewhere else. So Chris, through this vision planning process, my hope is that we start to create opportunities where people can get the same high-paying jobs that they're traveling for right here in our community. Create opportunities with Class A office space. We already have investment from Roper and MUSC in the town of Summerville, expanding medical opportunities so folks don't have to drive all the way to the peninsula to work in that high wage job. But I want to create a new employment center so that our folks are living closer to where they work, so that number one, it's less miles on the road that a vehicle's traveling, which already helps you. So that decreases traffic.
Yep.
But it also improves your quality of life. You're
Absolutely.
getting hours back. And if you have to work somewhere and you have children, you want it to be as close as possible so that you could pick up your kid if they're sick at school or if something happens.
Which is all the time,
Yeah.
I learned.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Being a dad's tough, or being a parent is hard.
Daycare.
Yeah. So creating opportunities like that, I'm really focused on that. I think it's huge. And that'll help us with our traffic problem, you know?
I think, you bring up a really good point. Working, I brought this up. I mean, I don't know what podcast it was. It was a long time ago. It might have been with you. But when I worked out at Q Island, I live here in the area.
Yeah.
And I would drive. It was an hour and a half to 2 hours one way from Summerville to Q Island, and I had a newborn at the time.
Ooh.
I didn't see family, didn't see my daughter. It wasn't. I mean, then Summerville opened up. I'm glad I'm here.
We're glad you're here.
And my commute went from an hour and a half to 2 hours to 15 minutes. And my whole life changed. Mm-hmm. More time. I know I'm a big man, but I still have time to help on my health, going to the gym and stuff. I might be a big man, but I promise I still get,
I try to get a little workout in there once in a while.
Yeah, once a month type deal. No, but I had more time for my health, or with my family, going to play some pickleball. Like, the quality of life enhanced significantly.
Yep.
Just working where I live.
Correct.
And so a lot of people wanted to travel. Well, I think a lot of people don't want to travel to Charleston for work anymore. I think they would rather have those jobs here. So knowing that is something that is on y'all's mind, thinking, all right, how can we bring more high-paying Class A office space here into the town of Summerville for our residents to have better quality of life and better work opportunities, but also have some great companies invest in our town?
Yes.
I think is a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win.
Correct. and you add that, and that strengthens our economy as an entire community. Makes us much more stable and resilient. So it's important.
More investment in the town is better parks.
Yes.
It's better services.
That's right.
That's what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, right? And so there's so much. It's a lot of excitement there.
There is.
And I think no one will complain about having a job that's close to home that is also high paying.
Amen. That's right.
Speaking of traffic and the growth and everything on those lines, one thing that we are doing and have been looking at to mitigate and lessen the traffic is walkability and bikeability. Is that the word? I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But
just the ability to move for other modes of transportation, right?
Exactly.
That's right.
And what are some things that we have planned or ideas or things that are in place right now that we are looking to do to kind of enhance that aspect of the town as well?
I think we are in the infant stages of really focusing and putting our money where our mouth is when it comes to bicycle and pedestrian opportunities in town. As you know, last year's budget cycle, we committed funding for that, and we increased it this cycle. A lot of the focus is to close sidewalk gaps. We have a lot of sidewalks to nowhere. So, close sidewalk gaps.
That'd be great.
Improve pedestrian crossings so they're safer. Any new projects, we have a complete streets mindset for those projects where other modes of travel, pedestrian and bicycle accommodations need to be incorporated in the planning process. We also, there were projects that were designed and permitted and just kind of put on the shelf, pedestrian projects, sidewalk projects, and we are pushing ourselves to get these projects done. Central Avenue sidewalk is a huge piece of that.
Yeah.
You can now, I know it doesn't, most people wouldn't do this, but when Parsons Road is completed, North Maple Street is completed, Central Avenue sidewalk is completed, you can walk from downtown Summerville all the way safely on a pedestrian system all the way to North Main Street past Cane Bay. Isn't that incredible?
It would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be awesome.
And it just creates opportunities for folks to move without having to get in their vehicle. And if we make those options safer, I believe people will use them more to get around. Safety is a huge aspect for that, and it's something that's on the forefronts of our mind. But, new projects, we're going to have them incorporated. We're trying to fix kind of our aged network by closing gaps, and we're putting more funding dedicated to those items as we move forward as a town. And I think that's what our community wants. I think our community expects that from us.
Absolutely. And the Bicycle and Pedestrian Committee and the folks within Bicycle and
Bike Walk Summerville.
Bike Walk Summerville. Great group.
Yeah.
I went to their one recent event and just so welcoming, and they have such great ideas about how we can enhance biking and walking within Summerville.
Yes.
And so I love how you guys as council and really have these conversations with people who do bike and walk Summerville on a day-to-day basis. I think hearing that, I think is awesome. I think it's a great group.
Well, it's near and dear to my heart. My wife is a avid runner, and she also does triathlons. So she is out on the bike or running out and around our town a lot. And you may see us on Sundays. I'm not a runner, but on Sundays when she does her long runs, I ride a beach cruiser by her and have my little basket with
I love that.
her water and any fuel she needs. I'm not going to run for a couple hours, but I will ride a beach cruiser so we can hang out. And we get to see every corner of the town, and you can see areas where it may be safer to walk and run, and there's areas that it's not so safe. And so if we can improve that and give our citizens the options and opportunities to do that safely, maybe they'll increase it. That's one less car on the road,
and enhances our makes our traffic better.
Yeah,
right.
And we get healthier
and healthier. Again, win.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome. Now let's move away. That was a lot of traffic conversation, but one topic that I think is a hot topic right now.
Yeah.
Actually, let's incorporate both of them together.
Okay.
Because they're both kind of future growth. We have 500 North Main Street.
Yes.
And then we have the Loudon Drive area.
Yes.
That conversation about I think is a multi or apartment complex or and that whole conversation as well. Two separate things.
Right.
But how are you in council ensuring that these developments still celebrate Summerville's historic charm, but also welcome modern amenities and enhancing our communities and strengthening our communities? And then how do you, again, another part of the question is, with it being a hot topic conversation and some community feedback, how do you guys as a council and you as well take that community feedback and grow and move forward with it?
Okay. Wow.
I know, a lot.
There's a lot of meat there.
Grab your popcorn.
Both of these topics, while very different, are still in action at this time. So I don't want to speak for council. I know every council member may have a different feeling than me, but I'll give you kind of my perspective. And I'll start with 500 North Main, and then we'll go to the annexation request over by Newington. 500 North Main has been discussed for redevelopment for a very long time.
Yeah, since I joined.
Yeah, the county actually had folks do a study and get feedback from community members over 5 years ago. I think it could have been just before COVID or just after COVID.
Yeah.
Where they were soliciting feedback on what people would want to see on 500 North Main. It is the current county administration building.
Yep.
What folks are calling the old hospital.
Yep.
It hasn't been operated as a hospital for quite some time, and it's really been a county building. But 500 North Main sits at the corner of Highway 78 and Main Street. Highway 78 is getting ready to be widened as a part of the transportation sales tax project, so you're going to have a new corridor there. Main Street Resiliency Project is going to be from 78. So you're going to have brand new corridors with walkability and aesthetics. And this is going to be kind of the new entryway, from my perspective, into what is the Summerville business district. You know, it's kind of the new gateway to our historic business district in Summerville. It's a little over 5 acres. And right now, the site is what I would call underwhelming. There's not a real public space there that folks would want to spend time. It's not like Hutchinson Square. So something I've always been excited for is, if investment comes in, we could have a very beautiful park as a part of this welcoming block into our town. And right now, the current plan for 500 North Main includes a welcome park, enhancing the Veterans Memorial, and has a kind of a nicer area called Missouri Square that's a large public space as well. All of those features get me really excited. I want beautiful flowers, public space where people want to spend their time and enjoy the town of Summerville. Without outside investment, we're probably not going to get those. But this is an opportunity. The county needs an office building that serves them well. And so that site right now, they have an office complex that's contemplated to be like Class A office space, similar to what we're just talking about, providing opportunities for people maybe to lease Class A nice office space right here in town, having them work closer to town. I'm excited for that. Through the process, the Chamber of Commerce took it upon themselves to kind of solicit feedback specifically on the 500 North Main. And overwhelmingly, people said, hey, we want something done there, but we also want to make sure that some portion of that old hospital is preserved. And so the county heard that, and the county is now deed restricting that the 2-story component of the old hospital, the original old hospital 2-story block, is actually going to be preserved in perpetuity, which I'm like, man, that's great. The people said this is what they want. They want some aspect of it. They're going to get it. And then the facade on one side is going to be incorporated into a hotel. Right now, that's what they're looking at, 100-key hotel. Well, that's great, because guess what? Hotels bring out-of-town money into our shopping district and into our economy. They don't typically operate on peak traffic times, so they're off-peak traffic. And we need opportunities for people to stay in town, closer to in town, to shop and dine and enjoy all Summerville has to offer. When we have family come in from out of town, there's nowhere for them to really stay close into town. And this is a great opportunity. So I'm excited for that. There's some residential units, about 9 or 10 multi-story residential units that are contemplated. And then we'll have some retail spaces on there as well. I think that's not a gross density, but about a just right mixed use opportunity for our community. And we'll have nice, beautiful parks right on the front of it. And so I'm excited. So if you're talking about me, I'm excited about what this opportunity is on 500 North Main. Now, to make sure that it was the beautiful, high quality development that we want to see in town, we have great citizen committees to do that. The Board of Architecture Review was previously going to be responsible for making sure that this development was done correctly. However, this because of the demolition, the Board of Architecture Review can't really approve, based on their charge, the demolition that's required to have this plan come forward. So the council, as you know, last month voted we've passed first reading of an ordinance to remove 500 North Main from the historic district to allow for this type of redevelopment on site. Now, that would give the design review board, the commercial design review board, the responsibility to make sure that aesthetically, this is what Summerville needs, how it blends in, because we're going to have new and old combined together. And architecturally, the Commercial Design Review Board is the perfect board to make sure that what gets done there is beautiful. Now, like we just said, this is in the middle of this discussion. The Planning Commission will need to weigh in on the removal of this from the historic district. Something that's unique about this 500 North Main, it was added later after the historic district was originally pulled together, and it's not contiguous to anything in the historic district. So it's kind of on an island by itself. And so its removal is not necessarily as complicated as you would think if it were in the old historic district and it was adjacent to historic structures. There's no historic district within blocks of this site. So that presents kind of a unique thing. But the Planning Commission will have to weigh in, and then we will have another opportunity to have second reading on that. Something that's important to me, number one, we make sure that the component of the hospital is protected forever. You know, we put it in there, that deed restriction, and then we want to make sure that this beautiful park system is first class, like a Hutchinson Square, where our community can enjoy and really come together at a beautiful place where their families can make memories and enjoy, and it be a welcoming environment. So I'm excited for that. You couldn't tell, could you?
No, absolutely. I think the thing about it is the entrance to Summerville, being able to provide a beautification of it. More parks. Everyone loves more parks. I would love to take more parks to take my family. You know, and I want to bring them to Summerville. I hate to bring up the other municipalities, but no, I don't want to go to Goose Creek. I don't want to go to North Charleston. I don't want to go to Mount Pleasant. They all have their special things. Love them for their specific reasons, but I want to come here.
Right. Our citizens deserve to have nice things.
I want to come here.
Right here.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's a lot of excitement behind it, and I understand also. I know you all do as well. Everyone's feedback when it comes to just their worry about the old hospital being torn down, preserving history, keeping Summerville. We hear that. And so before we go on to the annexation, I do want to just state that if you guys, any of our listeners or watchers, have any thoughts, opinions, dislikes, likes, kudos, whatever, please let us know. We want to hear it. Mayor's phone is always open. He likes to give his phone number out. I always tell him, listen, that's dangerous.
They are welcome to call me.
But you can call Mr. Mayor, email him, or your county council, or not county council.
Well, both.
Or both, or county council, or council members, or staff. Whoever you feel necessary you want to speak to, we want to hear it. So I did want to push that out there before.
Yes, absolutely.
We move on.
You know, folks sometimes think that we don't listen to their feedback because we may make a decision that's different than what they wanted. But we're hearing feedback on all sides.
Yeah.
And so there's a cross section that is happy with certain decisions, and there's a cross section that's not. And what my guiding principle is always trying to figure out what is the best for our community as a whole, what is going to get us where we're trying to go. Having this vision plan completed is really going to help that.
Absolutely.
It will give us a lens to look through.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I'm going to see that as a mandate from our community on what they want.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited for that.
Same.
But my goal is to find what is the best for our community and where we're trying to go as a community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's a lot of excitement there. Again, feedback's always welcomed. And I'm excited to see what happens there. And, I think whatever it is, I think community feedback is a testament to where we're at with 500 North Main Street too, because if there wasn't community feedback, probably wouldn't look like what's looking like right now, the plan.
You are exactly right.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so
it's been changed and modified based on community feedback.
So kudos to y'all.
Yeah.
Kudos to the
Moving
community.
the
I
needle.
love that.
Yes.
I love that. Let's talk about the annexation.
All right.
With Loudon Drive. This last meeting, we talked about this in cruising with the mayor. We had a lot of community members from that community there come out and speak. We had both, but opposition. There was a lot of opposition as well.
There was, yeah.
And council made a decision at that meeting. Do you want to talk about that decision?
Oh, yeah.
Recap it for anyone who's not aware, and then talk about kind of what's next there.
Okay, I'm going to explain kind of the whole landscape.
Please.
Because it's kind of challenging. Number one, the Newington community is probably the most tight-knit and unified community I have ever seen.
It was impressive.
I loved it. I thought that was great, and that's what I hope for our entire community.
It was impressive.
It was very impressive. But we have a situation where we have about 30-ish acres of land that's in town. A lot of these acres are wetland acres or floodplain acres, so they're not necessarily the best to develop on, but they are in town, and it's zoned for multifamily residential.
Okay.
And it's existing zone. I don't know when that zoning took place, way before our time, but it is zoned multifamily, 30-ish acres. The question before council was an annexation request of just over 4 acres. I think 4 1/4, 4.5 acres. That's along adjacent to this 30 acres, where they want to annex this into town. Right now, it's in the county. They want to annex this into the town and have it annexed as multifamily, and then they want to put apartments. Okay, they showed 180, I believe.
I think it was around
180 apartments that would be incorporated between the 30 acres and the 4 acres. The community was clear as a bell. They did not want to see that level of density right there adjacent to their community. Now, what that means is whatever they can develop on the 30 acres, they're already entitled to. There's no decision that council can make other than they have to follow our ordinances, follow the laws, regulations, and permits that are required to develop that land multifamily. But on the 4 acres, we have an opportunity to shape that. The 4 acres, if not annexed in the town, they would rezone in the county, probably get a residential designation, and could build something there.
Yeah.
If it's in the town, we can change the zoning. We can say, hey, we'll zone it whatever. That's a residential zoning, but not a multifamily zoning. We passed first reading so that we could have conversations not only with the community, but the developer, and then the developer and the community can have conversations to say, how do we want to shape this development? Once it gets zoned, it's entitled. And they don't have to ask any questions, and they don't have to provide anything for your community. But before they get their zoning designation, this is the opportunity where people can actually have conversations and say, hey, we're concerned about this much density here, but if you wanted to do single-family homes on these 4 acres, we'd support you. But we also may want, hey, we have traffic issues. Maybe we want some traffic calming measures. Maybe we need something improved within our community. Maybe we want a park as a part of this redevelopment. Can you do that for us? So really, first reading was passed to allow conversations to happen, because if we didn't have conversations, they're going to get entitled and they're going to develop the way they want without any community input. So from my standpoint, I thought it was very important to allow the developer to hear the feedback from the community, which they have, and then be able to respond to that. You know, we want people investing and annexing into town. That helps the town, right? We certainly want investment. But if it's going to damage a community and negatively impact a community's quality of life, we don't want that to happen in the way that it was proposed. So first reading was passed to allow this to shape into something the community may benefit from. But at the end of the day, we'll see when the developer comes back if they've changed. The developer may say, you know what, we're going to walk away from this project.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. They may say, you know what, we've changed and the community gave us feedback and we're going to do this for the community and the community's good with this from us. That may be great. But I'm excited to hear what comes out of it.
Yeah.
I told the developer after the meeting, or the engineer of the developer, I said, well, I'm going to go to the HOA president before the next decision that comes to council, and I'm going to ask him how he feels about what's being proposed. And I'm going to use that feedback to base my decision on, because I saw an organized community with real concerns. The school district also expressed concerns, and we need to listen to those folks. First reading, as you know, it just allows a conversation to take place so that we have the opportunity to shape things. If we don't have that conversation, once they get their entitlements, they develop the way they want, and they just have to meet our standards. I prefer conversations. Shaping growth is so much better than having growth happen to you.
I completely agree. And I think, again, if any of our community members see something that they are not too fond of, coming to our council meetings, speaking up, getting community involvement. Look at this community and the example of that. It's incredible because, and you said something extremely, I guess I would say, I don't want to use the word powerful, but it was powerful at the meeting. You said along the lines like, I want to see the developer speaking with the community.
Yes.
If that doesn't happen, I'm not pushing this through.
Correct.
I think there's something really powerful about that.
Yeah.
I think kudos to you with that, because I think that we did have some community members who were still displeased with the passing of first reading. But just a reminder, it's not a decision. Correct. It's not a final decision. Like Mayor said, it is a conversation. And with anything in life, whether it's, just politics and you name it, just a bunch of different things. Conversation's good.
Yeah.
That's why I do what I do for a living.
Yeah.
Conversation is good, and opinions matter, feelings matter, and you should be willing and able to listen to everyone's feelings and opinions. Don't have to agree.
Correct.
Because we all have our own little thoughts and opinions on things.
That's right.
But be willing to listen. Be willing to have a conversation, because at the end of the day, we're all Summervillians.
We are.
We're all share our community. We all go to the same movie theater. We all shop at the same grocery store. We all go and get a drink out Montrose, which is just sold, by the way.
Yeah. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Pages
that's
bought
right.
Montrose, but we'll see what happens there. But
I've already talked with them. I'm real excited.
Yeah. Any sneak peek?
Well, I'm just going to say they have some plans to really make it New Orleans themed, Montreux, little elevated menu, but a gorgeous courtyard, and kind of activate that single, that kind of single house side of it. I'm excited to see what this does. Anytime we get new investment and new ideas in town, it's exciting.
It's Montrose, and if the owners or previous owners are listening or watching, thank you guys for
absolutely
what the investment you put into town and the hard work you put into Montrose. I think I don't want that.
It's a staple.
It is a staple, right? And I know we're a little.
I'm glad we're keeping the name.
Yeah, that too. I think it's important, but it's such a prime, good spot. The outdoor scene there is just, it could be so beautiful. I think Pages has a background of success.
Yes,
with what they do.
Yep.
So I feel pretty good. That's off topic though. Listen,
well, you know,
anything food related,
I'm in. A rising tide lifts all boats, and you know, new investment I think helps all of our businesses downtown, all of our restaurants downtown, and we have a lot of great restaurants. No. We are becoming the spot for food, which I love.
I know. Yeah. It's amazing. It's not good, actually. I feel like
I was gonna say, yeah,
but like you see it all the time. A new place. I haven't even touched all the restaurants yet, and I've lived here for years. Only worked here for almost 3 years now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But still haven't ate everywhere.
Yeah.
And sometimes I find some hole in the walls that I adore.
Yes. Good food.
Some soul food too.
Yes.
You know, like that gets me. That makes me the happiest man on the planet. But circle back real quick to Newington and Loudon Drive.
Yes.
I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. And was that this council August, or is that September?
So it can come back in August. Again,
we're not sure.
I'm not sure if the developer is satisfied the community or not.
Yeah.
You know, something that we didn't touch on, you know, we talked about the school district, but today's the first day back in school.
It is.
And, you know, this area where this development is, there are 2 elementary schools right there. Mm-hmm. And I know traffic is very bad, but also child safety is extremely important to the community.
Yep.
And my hope is that if something's going to be done, that the investors and the developers are going to help with those items for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, just like 500 North Main, if you have comments, concerns, you want your opinions heard, please reach out to Mr. Mayor, reach out to council, reach out to staff. We want to hear it.
That's right.
Don't be quiet. That's basically what I'm saying. Don't be quiet. We want to hear it.
Be a part.
Yeah,
be a part of
it. Exactly. And if you have any questions, or you feel like your questions are haven't been answered yet, let us know. We'll try to answer those questions. So
yes.
We might not know them.
We'll try.
But we'll try, right? So let's change gears a little bit. We talked about some hot topic, and I promised the community, I told you, and you know, that this is going to be a little bit more of a hot topic conversation between you and I. But let's switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
We are celebrating a lot in Summerville, especially in 2025. But we're like halfway through, and we're almost to 2026 already, which is
crazy.
I can't believe it. But in just your time since, I guess you can talk about when you're on council, but let's think more 2025, maybe 2024, since you started as mayor. What achievements are you most proud of as your time as mayor, and what exciting, and we kind of touch base, so you can graze over this quickly, but what opportunities do you see for our town's future as well?
There are so many things. Mm-hmm. If I were to say there's one thing that we can say was a huge success, we had a very successful transition from our former town administrator who was retiring to a new town administrator who's been here since September.
Yep.
And I think our town has not missed a beat. And if anything, our town staff has grown stronger through this process. So I think that's huge. Being that we are a council form of government, you know, the mayor doesn't run day-to-day operations. Our council selects a town administrator to basically move forward on the policy we set and to work within the budget that we give them.
Yep.
And I think we're in great hands. So
go Scott.
Yeah. I mean, that transition of power, you know, Lisa had been here for so long. She knew so many things. There was a lot of concern, I think, from council, from the community, from staff, and it went better than I ever expected.
It did.
And I'm so excited for that. Of course, we're working on this vision plan. I've been so excited about having a vision, but making sure that it's not my vision. Making sure it's not the town council's vision, but make sure it's the community's vision. Mm-hmm. And I think that's being done the right way. This vision planning process is going to be the community's vision for us. That being initiated, we're in partnership with the county, the chamber, all of the folks that are working on that. Kudos to you for serving your community well. This is going to be transformative for years to come, and it could be one of the greatest legacies we have is working towards a shared vision.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that. And the other things, Chris, and I think you know this, if I have a bias, it's towards action. I want to get things done. You know, I'm a civil engineer. I like having a plan. We're planning better. We're doing better. We're prioritizing our spending better through the budgeting process. All of that is good. But guess what? I also want to knock things out. I don't want to leave problems for people that come after us. Okay, so taking those pedestrian projects that were designed and shelved, getting them out the door, that's exciting to me. Getting this Main Street Resiliency Project out the door, that's exciting. Finishing up North Maple Street, that's exciting. That should be done this year, if not early next year. But also our municipal public safety complex.
We haven't even touched that yet.
Yeah, we haven't touched that, but we have known for over a decade, well over a decade, that our space for our police headquarters, Fire Station 1, and municipal court has been inadequate. And we've kind of retrofit the old town hall to be a court, but that's not necessarily welcoming for a lot of our community members who have to do business at town hall. So tackling what is a very hard issue, but doing it the most efficient and cost-effective way, doing it right, planning for the future, it's hard to do that. And this has been ignored. We had a study that was done, an internal review that came up with the needs. Then we did a study through a third party that verified those needs and gave a cost estimate of the best way to handle this. Back then, it was about $40 million, maybe $35 million. We could have come out with the right type of facility to meet our needs. Well, guess what? We're staring at, to do it right and to do it well in the most cost-effective way, it's going to cost us $60 million, maybe a little more. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's tough for a town like this, but what we can't do is ignore the need and just think it's going to go away. That's what we did. Our forefathers did. They ignored that, said it was too big to do it right, so we're just not going to do it at all. Well, that doesn't help us. You know, when you go over to police headquarters, you can smell some of the contraband that is in the evidence storage because it's not ventilated properly. Our police officers are working in closets. You know, the fire station 1, the female firefighters weren't really contemplated back in the day, and they've tried to retrofit, but it's not the excellence of Summerville, and it's not what our folks who put their lives on the line for our community each and every day deserve. If we are going to be about public safety, we need to take care of our public safety professionals.
Absolutely.
And we're going to do it right. So if there's anything that I feel good about, getting the vision, starting to prioritize and plan for the future, but also just getting things done, executing on the needs.
That's a big one.
Don't ignore the needs. And so I'm excited for that. But probably the greatest, a smooth transition in that administrator role, because that's so vitally important for our team.
It is.
For our team.
It is. And I think Scott has done an amazing job just transitioning, but also putting his thoughts and twists on things and leading the town from the administrator role in a way that's been just amazing. So if you're watching, he's in the office next door. I don't know if you can hear us, but if you're watching, thank you, Scott, for everything you do for our community, for us as staff, for our council, and all that. One thing I want to touch base on is you and your role as a mayor has been really unique to watch. He doesn't know I'm going to ask this, but it's been really unique to watch. I think the way you go about being a mayor has been really unique because you make connecting with residents a cornerstone of your leadership. And from my professional opinion, just from being a staff member and seeing others who work in different places, it's not like that always. Where does that come from? Like, just from a personal level, where does that come from?
That's a great question. I would have to say my parents probably raised me in a way to value people and truly care about other people. And if I'm in a service role like the mayor, even though we say, you know, I don't have the authority necessarily to just go do what I want to do, but I do represent this town as a figurehead, and I need to advocate for our community members when they need an ear. I need to listen to our community members. When something comes up that I need to be aware of, I need to fight to rectify a situation, and I truly believe that I work for everybody in the town. And that's my role, and I take it to heart, and that's why my cell phone's on the website, and I give it out all the time, because I do want people to feel comfortable and reach out to me. I want to be accessible. You know, the mayor's job is not a full-time job in the town of Summerville. It's part-time. But I want to be accessible to our community and be a part of some of the great things our community is doing. You know, I think our community is the best because of the people who are here. And each and every one of them contribute to that. We may not always agree on issues, and we may come at things differently.
That's human.
But I truly value and respect everybody who lives in this community. And I want to serve them the best way I know how.
How has it been being a mayor, though? Like, is it weird?
It is.
Like, are you used to it now?
No, I don't think you ever get used to it. You know, and I struggle with making sure that I'm accessible, but also using my time wisely. There's a lot of things and initiatives I need to be working on to, you know, help this town move in a positive direction. And I want to make sure that I balance my time management I need to be accessible because I work for everybody, but I also need to use my time wisely. And so I'm probably struggling with that a little bit, and also making sure that, hey, I'm still a husband, I'm still a father, and I need to make sure that I prioritize my family through the process as well. But it's it's humbling to be able to serve your community, the community you were born into. It's very humbling. It's rewarding. But I'll tell you, the title, I still introduce myself as Russ, a civil engineer, or, you know, Russ from the town of Summerville. I haven't gotten used to saying mayor yet, you know, and I don't think I will. I think I'd prefer to just be Russ. You know?
I always call you Mr. Mayor. You're like, just call me Russ. I'm like, I can't. I just can't.
That's right.
No, I think those weren't on our little question list that I wanted to ask you. But
Good.
I think from a personal level, it's been admirable to watch kind of just how you transitioned into a mayor and how you've been mayor. But I think also from watching you, how you still incorporate yourself. You're so busy, right? With you work, we have a full-time career. But you also work. Mayor's part-time, but he works full-time mayor too, on top of being involved with your family. It's inspirational, to be honest with you. And as a father, it's awesome to see just your involvement with your kiddos, and it's just thank you. Thank you for all you do for us. I don't know, maybe you don't hear that enough, but no,
it depends on the day. Thank you for pointing it out. I'm a work in progress, Chris. I have a long way to grow.
Aren't we all? As long as we continue to move up. And and learn from our failures, mistakes, and stuff like that. I posted something on LinkedIn the other day. It was I forgot what it was, but something about loving failure. Because it's an opportunity to learn.
Amen.
And I do.
That's a good mentality.
I hate to fail.
Right.
I really do. But I've learned over my years, especially professionally and personally, that once I learned to love failure, the less I started to fail.
Right.
Because I learned.
Correct.
And I grew. Just a little inspirational type thing, you know?
Well, it fits right in with the Touchberry family motto. You remember what that is?
As you learn, you grow.
As we live, we grow.
As we live, we grow.
As we live, we grow.
It's on the mayor's coin.
That's right.
Speaking of grow, and we talked about this a little bit, and we're going to bring this podcast home. 2026 is coming up. What's one big dream you're working toward for Summerville, and how will you know when we achieved it together as a community?
Oh, man. All right, one big dream. Right now, it is right in front of me, this one transition in town that I feel like we have an opportunity to transform our town's trajectory with this one property, okay? It's the Inner Four property, or the old lumber mill. Looking at 2026, the big, for me, goal would be for us to be able to help shape what happens at the Inner Four site into a meaningful mixed use with a nice public feature, whether it be, we've talked about a recreational complex, whether it's a very nice park, something public, a public serving feature that makes that area of town a new gateway, entryway into the town of Summerville from North Maple Street. To me, having the opportunity to shape that and to make it something that's really meaningful and special for our community is something I'm laser focused on.
Wow. That's
laser
awesome.
focused.
Yeah.
And I'm working with as many partners as I can to help us make that the most meaningful redevelopment in the town of Summerville. The old lumber mill was there for over 100 years. It served the community well then, but this is not a space for an industrial complex anymore. This is more of a residential, maybe this is a part of our employment center. Maybe this is an opportunity for our kids to have access to first-class recreational facilities that, you know, we haven't been able to provide them. This to me, this is probably the biggest goal for 2026. A lot of discussion has gone on. A lot more will happen. But if we have the opportunity to help shape this redevelopment into something meaningful for our town, I would consider 2026 a success.
That's a big dream. I like it.
It's big.
I wasn't
There's a
expecting
lot of
that.
things we work on, but that one's sitting right in front of me.
I love that. Thank you for
now.
sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I think probably our listeners or watchers got really excited hearing that, right?
I hope so.
And so I know I did. My last question is for any of our residents, visitors, anyone who want to help shape Summerville. And I think I already know your answer. What's the best way that they can get involved? And again, my question said, how can they connect with you? It's pretty obvious. His phone number's everywhere. But what is the best way they can get involved?
The best way you can get involved right now is to participate in the public discussion of the vision planning process. There are going to be some public meetings coming up. You can put, we've already solicited feedback. We did an online survey and other ways to get feedback from the community. Now there is basically a framework that was established based on the community input. And this framework is what's going to be shared with the public in the coming weeks. I would love to hear people say, yes, this is a good framework. Wait a minute, you're missing something that's vitally important. Or, hey, we can take this away. We don't necessarily need this as a focal point. But this framework is going to, once it's decided, this is going to be kind of the structure that we put our vision plan and our action plan together based on. And I would love for the community to give feedback. Other ways, though, and I've found this in my life, if you are passionate about something, some people are passionate about pets, some people are passionate about children, some people...
I'm Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
You guys don't see, I have a comic wall back there of a bunch of old Spider-Man comics I collect. Sorry, I had to...
We were talking about that earlier. I was like, which ones are you missing? And he's missing a couple key ones. So if you have a Spider-Man comic, send Chris an image of it to see if he's missing it. He may appreciate you.
Yeah, hey. No,
but find something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And then go be a part of making, helping in that area. Yeah. If you're passionate about parks, well, Amy Evans, our parks director, would love to have volunteers helping in our park spaces. If you're passionate about, children activities or art, get involved with Public Works Arts Center, or get involved with volunteering at the school, or the mentoring group, the Beacons. There's so many good things happening in our community. Yes. We have a philanthropic thread that just is strong in this community. And if you're passionate about something, go connect with people that are doing this work and go make it even better. I mean, the town needs people who are passionate about the town. Yeah. And sharing with each other. I love it.
I love it.
Get excited.
Let's get excited.
I know.
I think that's a great way to end the podcast. I think there's a lot of excitement, and we talked a lot about the growth, where we're at, and some hot topics. Oh, yeah. And I do appreciate you coming on the microphone and the podcast, talking in long form about it. Yeah. Again, I say this every episode, but y'all, the community, I'm talking to you. You do not know how rare it is that this is happening. You don't get this often, and from mayors and public officials who will sit down in a non-formal way and talk about this stuff on camera.
I love it. I work for you guys. Exactly. And it's an absolute privilege and honor to be there.
Yeah, and I know this. This is not edited. You could watch this whole thing. I promise you, right now, I'm promising them that there's not going to be any cut. You can watch. It's going to be straight through. There's no cut of anything, because that's the type of conversations we have. Yep. Sometimes if we cut, it's because I stutter and I mess up.
Or me.
But no, I think it was a great conversation, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Russ.
Yes, thank you.
It was a great conversation. I really appreciate your time coming on here and talking about this. And this won't be the last time. This is our 50th episode. And I think it was a great conversation for our 50th. Absolutely. And I'm really happy about that. And so until next time, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much. And for our community members, thank you guys for listening and watching. Please give us your feedback. If you have any questions, put some comments in the episode. But please, we would love to hear anything you have. If you have some feedback on just this episode, because there was some really good conversation that happened here on the episode. If you have feedback, we want to hear it. Send it to me. I'll send it out. But no, until next time, thank you guys.
Thank you.